My name is Diane Deshields, and I will be presenting information regarding Jesús Rosales-Ruiz. Jesús Rosales-Ruiz currently teaches at the University of North Texas in the Behavioral Analysis Department. He has had the opportunity to work with Donald M. Bauer and Ogden R. Lindsay while obtaining his PhD at the University of Kansas in 1995. He has worked on the Journal of Precision Teaching, the European Journal of Behavioral Analysis, and the International Journal of Psychology Therapy Editorial Board. He has also had the opportunity in participating as a member for the Association for Behavioral Analysis International. He is a well-known behavioral analyst, but he is one of the few individuals who conduct studies on animal training from a different point of view in terms of their capabilities. In this presentation, I will be talking about resourceful articles regarding Jesús Rosales-Ruiz and his colleagues conducting research on animals and human beings. These studies consist of target training and shaping of horses, concept formation, the effect of object preference, the effects of graduate exposure and modeling, and behavioral cusps. In the following slides, I will be providing a description of studies and discussions that involved Jesús and other researchers. In one of them specifically, Jesús took lead on the research which you will hear shortly. With the first study regarding target training and shaping of horses in 2001, Ferguson and Rosales-Ruiz studied how to load horses onto a trailer effectively by providing positive reinforcement and shaping their behaviors. During this process, the horse's behavior was observed regarding their head posture, turning sideways, and pulling back from the trailer. Data was recorded by first viewing how long it took a horse to enter the trailer, their behaviors, and prompts. There was target and baseline training sessions during this whole process. The target training entailed the response time of a horse in relation to successfully accomplishing a task, which in turn resulted in them receiving food. On the other hand, the baseline training took place every day for 5 minutes along with recording the horse's behavior. With the second study in 2017, Frabisher and Rosales-Ruiz studied dogs on whether they conform an understanding of being exposed to a variety of objects in different scenarios. The first study consisted of the dog's ability to retrieve objects they have already been exposed to before when the experimenter pointed to them. The second study consisted of the dog's ability to transfer information they have been exposed to before the new scenarios while being exposed to new objects, meaning if the new objects are implemented, are they able to generalize on what to do with the concepts being presented. The final experiment consisted of whether the dog could transfer their knowledge from what they were taught from the other experiments when asked to locate other objects. The study showed if dogs are trained to accomplish tasks effectively, they can do so because their repetitive exposure. With the third study in 1997, Morrison and Jesús Rosales-Ruiz studied the stereotype of objects that children prefer when accomplishing tasks, additionally to how effective they are when they are asked to count a certain number of objects, along with how their behavior is displayed. The design consisted of 3 phases of feedback alone, prompting, and again feedback alone. This study has an impact in terms of making individuals aware of children's preferences, and it is important to be aware of these preferences, which in turn result in them accomplishing tasks successfully. The fourth study consisted of children with autism that were studied regarding their reactions to skincare products while overcoming their fears regarding lotions. This study was conducted in a natural setting, which was their homes, because it allowed for their participants to feel more comfortable. Games and skin products were incorporated with a 30 to 60-minute video recorded sessions. At the end of the study, it was found that when they were exposed in a slow manner, they were able to eliminate their fear in order to have the ability to use lotions. With the fifth study in 1997, Bayer and Rosales-Ruiz explained how behaviors can change upon an individual being exposed to different environments. When new behaviors are learned, they can develop new skills or other behaviors which will develop into behavioral cusps. A behavioral cusp involves an individual undergoing a behavior change due to their experience of new events that have occurred, which in turn result into having implications. There is a need to having a better understanding to why behaviors occur and what triggers a behavior change. From their discussion, behavior cusps do not have a specific time frame to when they will occur because they can occur at any time or they can be due to an environmental change. In my interview, unfortunately, there was not an opportunity to conduct one, but if I was provided the chance, my questions would consist of the following. As it is known that you are a renowned behavioral analysis, why have you altered your focus on animals instead of focusing solely on just human beings? In my second one, in your recent study accompanying Frobisher in 2017, you discuss an animal's ability to generalize concepts in different studies. Will there be an exact study taken upon human beings as well to see if there is a correlation? My third question, with your studies concerning children with autism in reference of their object preference on task performance, do you believe your results could be used to study other disabilities? My fourth question, individuals with autism can have multiple sensitivities to certain stimuli. With that being said, would your study be repeated if there is a chance of the participants becoming fearful of the other things, even though the study was successful in the first place? And my last question, with your behavioral cusp discussion, you mentioned behaviors change due to environment. Do you believe individuals play a part in the individual's behavior change as well? Jesús Rosales-Ruiz has presented and published an abundance of outstanding research studies and articles. Whether if he was the lead researcher or studied concepts along others, I believe he has made a great impact on behavioral analysis today. He has allowed for new behavioral analysis to research questions that have been lingering in their mind, and there is a need for them to have a better understanding. He can show behavioral analysis today in the field. They may experience setbacks such as helping an individual with autism successfully apply for a job or control their behaviors. But it is important to be consistent because it will result in there being improvements on helping their clients. He has shown today's world of concepts practiced with human beings can also be practiced with animals as well. And here are my references. Thank you for listening to my presentation regarding Jesús Rosales-Ruiz, and I hope you have become interested in his work as I have.